Hey everybody, Jim Perry from Reach here. Today we're going to talk about email etiquette. Students, if you are making a request of a staff person, any adult in the building, it could be a teacher, it could be someone else, it could be a coach, it could be an administrator, or someone in the office, you need to set yourself up for a yes. If you're going to take the time to ask for something, to make a request of them for help, or you need them to do something, it would be a complete waste of your time to ask in a way where you're more likely going to get a no. And there's some very simple things that you can actually do to increase your chances of getting what it is that you need from that person. This is a lesson that each of the classes is going to be going over this spring here at Sturfield High School. But I felt like this would be great not only for students in my Reach classes, but for anyone else watching here as well. We sometimes consider emails to be very, very informal, and they can be at times, but if we're making a request, again, we need to do these very important things in order to get the things that we need from that request and increase our chances of getting a yes from that. So I'm going to do a quick screen share here of the graphic that's being used in class. We use this in class right now in Reach today. And you can go back and reference this again if you need to. So the art of email etiquette, if you're making a request of help, assistance, a question, or anything from someone else in the building, number one, you do need to address that recipient by name. I know it seems like a small thing. I make this mistake all the time. I get started with the body of my email and what it is that I need, and I remember after I've written everything, oh yeah, I probably should put that person's name up at the top, and I go back and I add it after the fact before I send that email. It is one way to be polite in using someone's name. It's a good thing to do even in person. Second, you need to be very clear about the email's topic in the subject line. Subject line is not hi or hey or what's up. That subject line should include a few words, as few as possible, that are directly related to the request in your email. It should be directly tied to what it is that you are looking for or what it is that you need. Third, say why you are sending the email and what you are asking for, and be very specific. So this would be in the body of the email. You need to be very clear what it is that you need without being demanding, and we're going to get to that in a bit. But if there are any questions, that adult reading that email, if they have any questions about what it is that you're asking, you might not actually get the answer that you're looking for. And again, you want to increase your chances of getting a yes to that. Next several things, use good manners, be polite, check spelling. So by using good manners, it means that you're not going to be demanding. No one likes it when someone asks you to do something in a very demanding way. So what you're looking for is you're going to be asking someone to give you assistance or to do something for you, but you're going to ask it in a way where they feel like they are helping you, not because you demanded it, because they truly want to help you. To do this, you should be polite. And yes, spelling does matter. If you don't care enough to spell things correctly, it means that you don't care enough to actually get the yes. So take the extra bit of time to make sure that that is correct. Spell check does not catch everything, because sometimes you have words spelled incorrectly because it's a different version of that same word, and spell check likely won't catch that. Next, give details that will help the teacher best accomplish what you're asking. Give as much detail as you possibly can. The date of maybe when that assignment was actually due, the class period that you have them. Believe it or not, if someone's got nearly 200 students, they might not remember if they have you second hour or third hour. Actually give a name to the assignment. Don't just say my assignment. Actually give the name of it, the page number, the problem numbers, or the actual name that you were given when it was assigned to you. It's important to remember that an email requesting something is not a text. This is not a text to a buddy. You don't need to use symbols. You don't need to use abbreviations. Actually spell it out, capital letters, end punctuation, correct spelling. Think of it as an actual letter, which I know we don't write a lot of anymore, that you would write, put it in an envelope, stamp on it, address it, and send it through the mail to grandma. Think of it as that, but it's going to a teacher much more quickly because it's being sent in electronic format. So you send an email. Hopefully that teacher replies within 24 hours. In most cases, I would guess that they would reply much more quickly than that. If they have a question, because for whatever reason your email wasn't clear or they need more direction, they might reply to you with a question. It's important that you reply within 24 hours if they request more information. So if you say, I turn in my assignment, can you let me know that you got it? That wasn't clear enough. That teacher may see that and they'll say, can you tell me which assignment you're talking about? I had this happen recently. I was at my computer, replied within 30 seconds with another question for more clarification, and I didn't receive a reply from that student ever. I'm not going to continue to dig to try to figure out what they were looking for if they're not willing to reply with an answer to the question that I asked of them. If you get a reply from a teacher, you should be checking your email every day. So you should see if you're getting replies without ignoring them. Reply to them within 24 hours. If you get a reply right away, reply right away. Okay, that means that that teacher replies to you quickly. They're looking for, all right, we need to get this settled now. Please take care of it right now. And then again, treat the recipient the way you would expect to be treated. You don't want someone to demand something of you. You don't want to feel judged. Please don't do that to someone else. If you treat them with the respect that you deserve as well, you are more likely to get a yes to your request. So here are two examples of really good emails that were included on this graphic from a student to a teacher. It says missing class this week in the subject line. So very clear. I'm assuming if I read that, it was a student telling me that they're going to miss class this week. Dear Mr. Teacher Man, I will not be in class Thursday and Friday due to an out-of-town wedding. If you could please give me the work I will miss by Wednesday, I will have it done when I return next week. Please let me know if that is acceptable. Thank you very much. Sincerely, and then the student's name in the class period they have that teacher. So not only does it very clearly address the teacher by name, it says that student's going to be gone. It says exactly when they're going to be gone. It says why they're going to be gone. Now, you don't have to give really personal information. So sometimes when we say that we're going to be gone, we don't say exactly why because it really is personal, and that's fine. But still be as clear as you can about when it is that you're going to be gone and then that would be excused. And then the student actually makes a request. If you can give me the work by Wednesday, I'll have it done when I return next week. But the student in this case doesn't assume that that is acceptable. And it says, please let me know if that's acceptable. So that teacher is going to know. They're going to say, yep, that's just fine with me, or no, let's make other arrangements. And then the student says, thank you very much. They are very polite by doing that. And it says sincerely and their name. Now, I'll be honest, I don't always use the word sincerely. I very often forget to put someone's name at the top. But again, we're trying to be as polite as we possibly can because we are making a request of someone else. Next email from a student. Subject line is writing assignment, grading question. Dear Mrs. Smith, I see that I have a 0 in the writing assignment that was due December 2nd. I believe I turned that in yesterday. If you could please double check that grade in the grade book when you have a chance, that would be wonderful or helpful. I understand that I will lose points for lateness, sincerely, and the student's name and the hour there. Another great email. Says what the student did. I looked in the grade book. I saw I have a 0 for a writing assignment. I really think I turned it in. Here's when it was due. Could you just double check to make sure that you got it? It's making a direct request of that teacher to do something, but it's also taking accountability. I turned it in late. I know that I'm going to lose points because of lateness. I just want to make sure that you got it. Can you double check on that for me? That's a really, really polite email. So I wrote up some emails to myself, and I want to share these with you. These are examples of emails that I've received like in the last year or so. Sometimes like this one, no subject line at all. So if I'm quickly scanning my emails, because there might be a dozen waiting for me in the morning, if I see one with no subject line, I'm probably going to skip right past that to get to something that's more direct. So always have a subject line that is directly tied to your request. Here it says in the body of it, why was I marked absent? No capital letters, no capital I, no question mark. Why was I marked absent? It doesn't say when. It doesn't say what the student was doing during the time that they may have been in class. It could have been a mistake. So sometimes it happens, but someone's marked absent and they really were there. They were just a bit late. There should have been more detail here. And the wording in this sounds really judgmental, that someone's made a mistake and I don't like it and I want you to know I'm upset by it. It is unlikely that this person is going to get this resolved in a way that they want it to be resolved. Next email. Again, no subject line. It's really important that you include that in there. Another great example. I turned my work in, why isn't it in the grade book? I did it on time. So run-on sentence, there are really 3 sentences there. It doesn't address me by name like the last one. This really wouldn't take a whole lot to make it into a grade email that was worded completely different. What I'm assuming is this person said that they turned in something, it wasn't in the grade book. They felt like they did it on time, but it doesn't tell me what assignment I'm looking for. And again, if someone's got 170 students, who the ones that might have late work might have multiple missing assignments, without being more clear about which assignment that you're wanting that teacher to check on, again, you might not get the response that you're looking for in this case. Next email. Again, nothing in the subject line. Mr. Perry. Okay, great start. They address me by name, and then it says my assignment. I actually received one of these last week from a student. I think this person wants me to check to see if there's an assignment attached to this. But there's not. There's no attachment. If you have something that you've got to attach, please remember to attach it. If you forget to, you should immediately send another email saying, sorry, I forgot to attach my assignment to the last email. Here you go. Please use this one. It's attached here. I received an email just like this. I replied to the student. I said, think you meant to have something attached. Can you double check that? I didn't get a reply. I'm not going to ask again. I asked once. I am not going to ask again. I replied very quickly. They chose not to. This person did not get a response that they were really looking for. Next, this one does have the subject in the subject line. It says, I won't be in class, but there's no explanation of it. No why, no for how long, no request for classwork or to find out what's actually happening in class or what's assigned for outside of class. I don't know if this person's just telling me this. I don't know if they've already contacted the attendance line. More information, actually any information needs to be given in this case. Grades, see this one all the time. So the subject line actually does fit with this. It says grades, and the entire email, although it's short, is about grades. Here it says, my mom is mad because of my bad grades in your class. Can you bring it up, please? Sometimes when we request something of someone else, of a teacher, the response might not be what we want to hear. In this case, it's not my responsibility for the grade that student earned. It is that student's responsibility. And in this particular email, it happened to be some stuff was missing. And my response would be, you need to turn your work in on time and you actually need to be in class when you're supposed to be here. I know what the person wanted is they wanted to be given free points and they wanted their grade up because their mom is upset about their grade. I can't bring that grade up. Even with a please, it means that student needs to take care of the stuff that they are supposed to take care of when they're supposed to take care of it. So sometimes that response is not going to be what you exactly want to hear. At least you give it a shot. But sometimes it's going to give you more clarification about what you should have already done that you have not done yet. This one comes fairly often, teachers. What did I miss today? I just talked to another teacher this morning, and it was just reading an email that said this. What did I miss today? That's a loaded question. There's not only classwork, but there's likely homework as well. Most students should be checking Skyward Schoology, whatever your learning management system is first, to find out what assignments might have been given and what classwork might have been missed. I would hope that most students would actually check that first and then ask for further clarification. A great example of an email like this would be, I missed class today. I wasn't feeling well. I ended up going home early. I checked Schoology to see what was assigned in class. I just want to make sure that I'm clear that I'm not missing anything. Is this what the assignment really is? Please let me know. Thank you. I'll be back as soon as I can. That would be a great example. Very polite, says what the student did, asks for more clarification from the teacher, not just what did I miss today. Next, I receive emails all the time that have nothing in the subject line, nothing in the body of the email. I received one last week that just had the student's name. The student sent me an email with his name. That's it. I'm not even going to reply to that email because I don't. There's nothing. There's no request at all. I don't even have a starting place there. Really often we get emails as teachers late in the evening. I got one last week at almost 9 o'clock. Sometimes as late as 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock is in midnight. I need you to enter my grades tonight because my adult at home, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever's in charge of you, won't let me and then whatever activity they wanted to do until you do that. I need you to enter my grades tonight because my mom won't let me hang out with my friends until you do that. This is sent at 8:42 p.m. My emergency is not getting to entering something that was turned in late at the time. An email like this is probably going to be ignored until Monday in a lot of cases. There'll be some teachers that get to it. Myself, I probably would. But in more cases than not, when you make a request outside of the school day, you have to expect that there's going to be some time taken. And this is really a very demanding email. It doesn't address the teacher by name. I need you to enter my grades tonight because my mom is mad and she won't let me do whatever I want until you do that. Again, your emergency is not my emergency. I'm not going to jump because you say jump because you're in trouble at home. This person, if they got a reply, might get a reply that they're not looking for, and they might not get a reply even when they're looking for it. Very judgmental, very demanding. This is a very demanding email. It is unlikely that this person would get a response that they are looking for from any teacher to an email like this. Next one. I wanted to put an example of a really good email, and just to show that these don't have to be crazy long, and it really doesn't take much time to do this at all. Mr. Perry, subject line is missing assignment. So when I read this, I'm assuming it's about a missing assignment. Mr. Perry, I'm just writing to check on a late assignment I believe I turned in on Monday. Page 25, 1 through 5 was due last Wednesday, and I see it is listed as missing and has a score of 0 in Skyward right now. I was home ill the day it was due and forgot to give it to you the next time I saw you. I believe I left it on your desk, or I emailed it, or submitted it on Schoology, whichever thing you did, on Monday of this week. I just want to make sure that you got it because I know it's impacting my grade in your class right now. Let me know if you received it. Thank you. And then the name. Great example of a very clearly written, very polite, very concise, to the point email of what the student did, what they're requesting of me. I don't know an adult in this building or any school that would not reply to that email right away and wouldn't check on it if they were able to. This is a great example of an email, very, very polite, making a request and to the point. This would get a response that that student would want, unless it was something that wasn't really actually turned in. And then either way, the staff person reading this feels like they're working with the student to help them solve that problem. They're not being told to do something. They're working with that student who has held themselves accountable. I turned it in. I was gone that day, but I forgot to give it to you the next time I saw you. That student's taking accountability, but then they're requesting something from that teacher. So here's the thing. When we're writing an email and making a request of a staff person, we're setting ourselves up for yes or no. Now, it's already likely that it could be a yes or a no, but you don't want to force that adult into a position where they're more likely to say no than yes. The way that you ask absolutely has an impact on the answer that you're going to get. Not in every single case, but you are certainly more likely to push it toward a no if you aren't polite, if you don't ask something concise, if you're really judgmental and rude about it. Think about the way you'd want someone to talk to you in person. Attempt to do that in an email, and be really nice about it, because you are actually asking them to do something that you need true help with. So something to consider today. If you have any emails to write in the future, or if you've written some in the past, I want you to consider the importance of this and how you are more likely to get what you need when you take the time and the effort to actually ask in a way that would be more conductive to getting that yes and that request met. Something to consider today. Talk to you soon.